Hello, hello. How are we doing? It's Kathy back again to talk about tea leaf readings. I'm so glad that you can join me on my weekly Tuesday night. I've been coming on live at 7 o'clock, so hopefully you can set your schedule and join me every Tuesday. Next week I am on holidays, so do not look for me next Tuesday, July, I believe, 21st. But you can find me here regularly, 7 o'clock, on my Kathy's Tea Leaf Readings page on Facebook Live. Let me tell you a tiny bit about me again. My name's Kathy. I'm a tea leaf reader, been doing that for a number of years now. I've also been selling steep tea or sipology products for over 8 years. It's amazing how quickly time flies. I've been involved in selling teas and tea related products for quite a number of years, and that has evolved into me using my intuition and providing tea leaf readings, also tarot card readings, and I love to use my tea leaf reading cards as well. Hello, Kathy. Thank you for joining me. I'm glad you could find me again. I appreciate that. And today we are going to talk about how you can do your own readings at home, or at least you can set up for doing your readings at home. So I did make a list. If I don't know if anybody had a chance to look and see what you need tonight. If you want to follow with me, if not, you can always watch this video later. But what I've got here is a teacup. I say the China one's not a regular mug. And hello, Christine. So glad you could join me. So again, I have my teacup and not a mug or any other kind of cup. It really needs to have the saucer as well as the cup. So as well as I have some rooibos tea. I really like the small leaves that you can get with the rooibos tea, and a little bit, as I said, a little bit of water. In my scoop too. So that's all we really need to get started with a tea leaf reading. So I'm going to move that back just a little bit so I've got some more room, and I'm going to show you what I do to set up for my tea leaf reading. So when you're picking a cup, you don't want one that has any design on the inside. There are certain cups that you can buy that have horoscopes or other signs that will show you how you can like if leaves land on that symbol, it means certain things. I prefer my clear cup to use when I'm doing tea leaf readings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a tiny bit of leaves, again the rooibos, and they are tiny pieces, and that's why I don't use like a full leaf for my black teas or anything. So if you can see, like, I just got a tiny amount. If we have too much, I find it clumps and then we don't get really nice pictures, so I don't like to do that. So I'm just going to put that small amount right into my cup. And then I'm going to just take a cap full of water. So we don't need a whole lot of water either. If it overflows, that's fine too. We just need a little bit of water, and we're going to just add that right into there too. So now I got kind of a little bit of a mash not mesh, mash of going on. And we're going to put this into my left hand because left hand is more intuitive, and that's our intuitive side. And I'm just going to swirl the cup around. I always tell my clients that you should actually think of your questions. So let's say you want something career-wise, or with your love life, or you want to know whether a certain situation is going to come to a good conclusion, or you've got legal problems, or you know have something with your family, or whatever questions you have. I'm kind of doing this thinking that what does this group or whoever's watching this need to know? So that's what I'm kind of concentrating, nothing in particular, just what do we need to see today? And after swirling for a little bit, I'm just gonna show you, dump it right upside down. And I just like to leave it for a second because that allows the water to drain. And then I'm just going to turn it. This is what I call my voodoo or my woo-woo bit, and tap the bottom as well. So now I'm going to turn it over, and the handle always represents you, whoever I'm reading. And we go from the handle around, and I say there's only 3 months ever in a cup. I know that different people have different ways of reading, but I say there's only about 3 months in this cup. And hi, Carolyn. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Carolyn as opposed to Carolyn. Anyways, thanks for joining me. I just want to address your question, and I'm not making any teas tonight. I'm just showing how I do tea leaf readings tonight. So thank you so much for popping by. And if you have any other questions, certainly pop them in there. So as I said, the first thing I do is say that the handle represents you, whoever I'm reading. And I look for the first symbols that I see. And actually, when I looked in here, I saw 3 dotted lines. I don't know how well this is going to show up, but 3 dotted dots there, and to me dots represent travel. So the travel doesn't have to always be a physical travel, so we may not be going to Jamaica. I don't know why Jamaica's coming up in my head, but Jamaica, but it could mean that we've got something spiritual. So maybe we're all growing, and I know with this coronavirus everybody's at home and we are being more aware of what we're thinking and what our future might look like. So to me that would kind of be maybe some sort of spiritual growth that we're all going through right now. We're trying to figure things out. What do we need in our life? What do we not need in our life anymore? So it's all good for us to take a breather and just kind of think about what do we, as I said, what do we want in our life? Do we continue to want this relationship? Do we want something different? Even our family relationships, we were all kind of strained at certain holidays or certain celebrations, and now I think this idea of not being able to see people has made us more appreciative of them and what they're doing, and being able to have a different view of what family is and what family means to us. So that's what I'm picking up in particular from there, from that. I don't know if you guys can see this again because of where I am, but very clearly there's a number 10 in there. And 10 to me represents conclusions, coming to the end. I like to use tarot cards as well. And so this 10 almost has like let's call that a V. So a V to me would represents the word victory, or things happening. So it's just such a clear 10 there. So to me there's something coming to conclusion, that we're finishing something, and with the V it's a very clear that that's a joyous time, a victory, a celebration that's going along with that. So if I was to do it time-wise, I would say that's in about 6 weeks from now. There might be something very big to celebrate, something coming to a conclusion, because that is quite a big symbol in comparison to the other sides of the cup. Again, another thing that I look for too is that there isn't a lot to be seen on the top. When I see a lot kind of falling out, that means that things are happening quicker or sooner than later. If I see a lot bundled in the very bottom, it usually means that there's just too much going on and our mind is cluttered. That's another common thing that I get when I read. The other thing I see very dominantly here is a person, and they're running. And when I see them running, I always say, are they running to something or are they running from something? And I'm actually feeling like they're running away from something, because I'm not sure if you can see that or not, because there's like a little tail or a little thing behind them. So I'm feeling like they're trying to get rid of something, loosen up, and that it's funny. What I'm seeing, that is actually almost like a cat, but like a some sort of critter that we're running away from, and it makes me wonder if there's some sort of fear, or interesting. And again, when I get silent for a little bit, I'm just using my intuition and seeing what sort of things are being known to me. So yeah, I'm feeling like someone's being chased, but it's funny that it's more of a fun chase. So it's not like someone's running away frightened, or running away saying, I'm trying to get away, but I feel like it's a more playful, like, so they might be playing with their cat or their dog, and more of that fun activity that's going along with it. So I'm not sure if this relates to anybody in particular here, or if any of this is making sense to you guys. But again, I'm just kind of doing a group reading, and assuming that it applies to anyone who just happens to come along with me today. So hopefully that gives you a general idea of what I do, and how I do it when it comes to the cups. There's lots of different symbols, lots of things that may appear. I did post a couple of common things that you might see in there, and it all depends again on your energy as to what symbols. I have been doing these online as well, so if you want to have a virtual reading through Zoom, I do those sort of things, or that as well, just as easily. And I have been offering email ones. So I take a pause. I actually do a whole cup for you, and then email the results. I like to also use my tea leaf reading cards, which I think I've mentioned before, have symbols and signs on them. And then, just because I'm doing a little bit of a group reading, let's just pull a couple cards and see what the cards have to say today about anyone who might be watching this today. So I find 3 tells a little bit of a story. So let's see what we need to know today. Oh, finger. So warning you of a problem either now in the near future. Then we've got a dark-haired man. Oops, sorry, I'm not showing the right camera. A dark-haired man, and then the last symbol is an apple, so that temptation. So think of Adam and Eve and that temptation. So to me, there might be some sort of temptation coming from a dark-haired gentleman, and we're just getting a warning that maybe that isn't something that we should be following. I would second guess whatever decision or whatever is said from this gentleman, and make sure that you just kind of dot your T or dot your I's and cross your T's. Let's say that correctly, and learn a little bit more about what he might be saying or offering to you, with a little bit of caution on that. So hopefully that helps anyone who's joining me and traveling in or turning in. If you have any questions, I'd love to know what you're thinking. But as I said, I just wanted to do a quick little demo of what a tea leaf reading might look like. If you're interested in having one, I do readings on Sundays, Tuesdays, or Fridays, and you can either book a half an hour, 30 minutes for $50, or a hour or 60 minutes for 75. And again, I have the option that you could do a email one, which is only $30. So that's your other option. And then a new thing that I'll be offering at the end of July is what I'm calling a group reading. So we'll have everybody on Zoom and have an opportunity to actually ask at least one question for everybody that's on there, and we'll do a group reading as well, so things that will apply to the whole group, but also individually. So hopefully you can join me for them. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me here through Facebook, or if you see this on YouTube, through my channel, you can always contact me. And I appreciate you tuning in and joining me tonight, and I'll hopefully hear from you soon. Have a good night. Bye.